We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 18.
Oh shit, I thought we were
Vikings Uncensored.
Fucking A, man, we're getting so many episodes.
We were on 17 last week. It's 18 this week.
Oh,
18.
man.
I know you have a problem with math. 18
I
comes
was gonna
after
say,
17.
man, these numbers, man.
Math is hard. Anyway, I'm Rhino. This is Lance, and like I said, we're on to episode 18 of Vikings Uncensored.
We're getting closer and
Getting-
closer.
We're getting real close, and even the bigger, closer. Training camp starts next week.
Yeah,
I believe it's the 28th. This is the official start.
we'll be looking at making a trip over there at some point. Hopefully, we'll see you guys.
Hoping to maybe get a little bit of on
some
location
footage
stuff
from the
for
training
you.
camp.
We're still working on it, but it's a possibility. So we'll keep you guys
We'll
posted.
see what we
on
can
that.
do.
Yep.
Stay tuned in August.
Yeah. So anyway, we got a fair amount of news this week, actually.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, really, it's the last week before training camp starts. So is it much?
Yeah.
There's some news up there.
Yeah. So all the scrum is going to just kind of be thrown into a pile here before everything starts. So, but like I said, this week is the last non-week of anything, and then next week.
Hey, and then next week we're all uphill.
Yep, football starts rolling in, and we've got football from there until February in some way, shape, or form. Anyway.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
I
I can't do a Mr. Burns too well, but
Smithers.
Yeah.
I can't either.
No. Don't.
Matt Groening, where are you when we need you?
Yeah, I can do a Homer better than I can do a Burns, but whatever. So anyway, we'll get rolling here. The first little bit of NFL news is it came out this past week that Tom Brady played most of the 2020 season with a torn MCL.
What a fucking beast, man.
Yeah, if he played like that, that would explain probably why some of those times when he was throwing the ball, he didn't have what seemed like the normal zing and stuff because he wouldn't be able to plant right.
Tom Brady is not a fucking regular human being.
No, I think he's a cyborg or some goddamn thing. I mean, but with that, he was never listed on the team's injury report with that knee injury anytime throughout the season. So Tampa Bay is potentially facing some kind of penalties from the NFL for failure to report injuries. So with that, I mean, they could be facing anything from a loss of draft picks or anything, it hasn't really been said in how hard they're pushing this or anything, but it's something that Bear is keeping an eye on because it could affect them here down the road. I mean,
kind of a ticky-tacky thing if you ask me, if they're going to penalize them for fucking, I mean, it should honestly come down to, whether or not he played, honestly, I mean, and if they knew he was going to,
but, even with that, by the league rules, they technically have to say,
right.
If
rules are rules, and
if he's got a fucking hangnail, he's got to be listed on the the injury list as at least probable.
Either way, he's a beast.
Oh yeah, that's
crazy, man.
Goes and wins a Super Bowl on a
right
playing
playing
with a bad knee all year at 43 years old. I mean,
yep.
I'm still freaking limping around from tripping over that dog kennel last week. So.
I don't know how he does it, man.
I don't either. Like I said, it's not. I don't think he's human.
It's not a young man's game, that's for sure. And here he is, fucking geriatric ass out there slinging it.
Maybe it's like on Men in Black. He's actually an alien in a human suit or whatever.
Yep. What we need is like Shaggy or somebody to fucking take the mask off.
Yeah.
Might have gotten away with it, too. If it wasn't for these blasted kids and their dog.
Gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for those goddamn kids.
Yo.
So anyway, it's something that bears watching, I guess, just to see if anything comes out of it or not. But the second little bit of news was actually fairly major. Former Seattle Sea Chicken and San Francisco 49er Richard Sherman was arrested for DUI, attempting to break into his wife's parents' house. He got charged with criminal trespass in the second degree with a domestic violence element, reckless endangerment.
Richard. Dick, what the fuck are you thinking, Dick?
Come through, bitch. Come through. Come through. Come through. Come through. Come through, Wayne. Come through. Come through. Come through. Come through. Come through. Come through, Wayne. Come through. Come through. Come through! I don't give a fuck about what you're saying. Move the door. I see Q from behind the door. Come through. That shit real cute. Come through, Ray. Come through. Come through.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a dick move, but
Dick Sherman.
Yep. But then he also had reckless endangerment of roadway crews. Apparently, he must have drove through a construction area or something during the, driving under the influence, resisting.
Call me Dick again.
Yeah, resisting arrest and malicious mischief with a domestic violent element. So I'm not sure what all that means, but yeah.
Shame on you, man. Come on. You are how old? If you were going to be doing this shit, do this earlier in your career, not.
Although, I mean, his career
is at all, honestly, but
yeah, you'd be best not to do it at all. And like I said, I haven't heard what the deal was, but obviously it was some kind of a domestic, and I don't know if his wife must have went to her parents' place or whatever, and he fought,
I'm gonna go get my wife.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Man. Well, if you thought you were going to make a comeback, Dick, you're not going to make one anymore. I don't know.
I'm guessing
pretty much done now.
I'm guessing he probably won't be playing this season.
He won't be playing in the league again, honestly. He's getting to that age right now where bringing on a corner of his, he's getting up there in years.
What is he, like 34 maybe?
Yep. Corners, they don't age gracefully, really, in this league.
Well, no. I mean, you got a 34,
unless
30.
Jam Bailey and can play forever.
Yeah. Darryl Green or somebody like that. But, you got a 35, 36 plus year old guy trying to chase a 22-year-old around it. It's just.
Or his wife.
Well, yeah, obviously. Hey, he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just working out to be ready for the season, apparently.
Right. It's part of his conditioning.
Yeah.
Sorry, Richard, but you need to make some better decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just got to know when to say, hey, is this the right decision? Or, am I going to put myself in some muddy water?
Yeah. And he fell face first.
Blah, 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 blah.
fell face
We need to get
first
like
into
a
the mud.
translator down the corner of your screen sometimes.
Yeah, we'll get the what do you call
Ryan meant to say is.
Yeah, maybe we can get Ted to come over and do Rhino Zoo instead of the Zim Zoo he used to do.
Right, there you go.
So anyway,
all right, what do we got next after Dick?
Yeah, we'll pass on the Dick for now.
Sherman Hemsley.
Yeah. Now the rest we got here are directly Vikings related in some way, shape, or form. The most significant one was the news came out on Monday that nose tackle Michael Pierce suffered a calf injury while he was working out.
With Linval.
Was he working with Linval?
I do believe so.
I know
Linval, they haven't quit sabotaging our season.
Yeah. But they said that it doesn't appear to be serious, although his availability for the start of training camp is in question, but shouldn't be, an issue by the start of the season. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If Zimmer comes out and says it's a tweak, then we're effed.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Because, as we all know, Daniil Hunter had a tweak last year.
And then we're looking at a Michael Pierce holdout next year, even though he hasn't done nothing yet.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Right. But, realistically, if we were going to suffer some sort of an injury, this is probably, as far as at least the top end, probably the place we could most afford to have it, because worst case, you move Tomlinson over to nose tackle.
Right.
Sheldon Richardson gets more playing time at 3-tech. Until
thank God we have some depth.
Yeah, for a change. Last year we had no depth, and at least we've got a little bit this year. So we'll see how long that Pierce is out, but hopefully it's not very long. Give him a couple of weeks and maybe he'll be back.
Right.
Realistically, he needs to be back for part of training camp because the guy hasn't played in 2 years.
Right. I think Pierce is set probably for a career year, honestly. So just, stay healthy, man.
That's the thing. He can't have a career year if he's injured. But
exactly. But he's pushing hard for it. And obviously with this injury, it's you just need to slow down, bud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You'll see him come out on the practice field or whatever, rolling himself in a wheelchair, and Zimmer will be, it's just a tweak. It's fine. Nothing to see here. Please disperse.
Excuse me. All right, move on. Nothing to see here. Please disperse. Nothing to see here. Please.
But
private nurse behind him with the IV.
Yeah, I got the whole stuck in an iron lung and all that other kind of stuff.
It's just a tweak. He'll be all right.
He's fine. He's fine.
All for show.
Right. So then the next Viking related one we have is finally have a little bit of news on the Jeff Gladney front.
Right.
By the time you guys see this on Friday, this will already have happened.
Speculation. This is true.
This is true. A federal grand jury, or I don't know if it's federal grand jury or state grand jury, but anyway, a grand jury is going to convene to consider charges against Gladney. That's happening on July 22nd. It's the 20th today as we record on Tuesday, so this will be Thursday. We maybe will know something by the time the show airs on Friday, but something comes out of it. We'll talk about it next week. But that's kind of, at least,
we cannot control time here is one thing that we cannot do.
Right? Yeah, I don't have a DeLorean parked in the garage, so we can't figure it out. But
sports almanac from Back to the Future.
So we'll hit this next week, but we just figured we'd bring it up. The next thing that came out is a little bit of, I don't know what you want to call it, but former Rams wide receiver Isaac Bruce came out this past week and said that he and Torrey Holt were the best wide receiver duo in NFL history.
You on drugs?
What a fucking bold statement.
Yeah, bold and flat wrong. They were a very good duo, yes.
They were. Even you throw Isaac in there too, honestly, with the two of them. But
to say that you're better than two certain guys that we had here.
Nah.
No, I mean, Moss and Carter.
And I mean, Moss and Carter, I mean, they were really good too. But even being a Vikings fan, it is up for debate in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean,
receiving tandem is.
I mean, I would say that Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt aren't in the conversation. They're probably top 5, sure.
I was gonna say top 5 too. Yeah,
but for me, you got Moss and Carter. You can argue that Jerry Rice and John Taylor are probably right there neck and neck with them.
Right.
You've
Harrison
also got
and Wayne.
Yeah, and if you go way back, you've got Stallworth and Lynn Swan. Yeah. So
then you got Harper and fucking Irvin.
Yeah, I mean that was
and that's that's
Harper was okay. I mean it was and the reason why, of course, Michael Irvin was always so good was he was hopped up 99% of the time.
Coke. Him and fucking Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah. But
how could you not love Lawrence Taylor though? I mean,
oh yeah, I mean the only way you don't is if you're a Washington Redskins fan and saw him snap Joe Theismann in half. But I remember watching that game. I'm that old. I remember watching that game when it happened.
There's some
I think it was like
frightening similarities between the Theismann leg break and the Smith leg break.
Mm-hmm.
If you look into it. Yeah.
The only thing is that Alex Smith was, with the way medical stuff has advanced between the 80s until now, right. Smith was able to come back, but
what a great story too for Smith. Anyways. Yeah.
No, I mean it's kind of
back on the road here a little bit.
Yeah. But anyway,
it was good for you, Alex.
Right. But anyway, back on the Smith and Holt thing, just a couple of numbers, little statistical teasers for you guys here. Between Moss and Carter and then Bruce and Holt, Moss and Carter had a combined 645 catches.
Man.
For 9,793 yards and 93 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Now, Bruce and Holt had 613 catches for 9,905 yards. So they did have a couple hundred yards more receiving than our guys did, but they only had 57 touchdowns.
And they also had a little bit more time together, I believe, too.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how many years. I mean, Moss and Carter, basically, you had, 4 years there together?
I would say 4.
It's a debate point. There probably really isn't a clear cut. I mean, you start looking at even the singular best wide receivers, in the NFL history. Is it Randy Moss? Is it Jerry Rice? I would argue Chris Carter could very well be in that next, Terrell Owens. Yeah, his numbers show it. I've never been a T.O. fan, but
it's hard to be a T.O. fan.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got, Chad Beebe. He's right up there, too. But
yeah, he's
you can't have a discussion about the greatest wide receivers in the NFL without mentioning Chad Beebe.
Right. And Troy Williamson.
Yeah. Laquan Treadwell, he's also in the mix,
Mm-hmm.
Good old tree stump.
Man.
So, but anyway, that's about all we've got for news today. I mean, granted, we had a fair amount, but with that, we are going to take our final stop on the 2021 No Excuses Tour.
Special Thicken Teams.
Yep. This week, we are talking about the Thicken Special Teams.
Yo, stop making excuses, man. Nobody gives a fuck about your bullshit excuses. You got to take responsibility for your own success, regardless of your circumstances. You're responsible for your own success. Crying about your circumstances is no longer effective for you. You're a motherfucking man, and men are expected to produce results. That's how you're going to be judged on what you produce or what you don't. But nobody's going to have pity on you, and nobody gives a fuck about your bullshit excuses. No one gives a fuck about how difficult it is for you. No one cares about what you had to go through. The only thing that matters are the results that you produce.
All right. As we said, final stop on the No Excuses Tour for 2021.
Man, it just flies. It's just like, yesterday we were talking about offense. Now we're already to special teams, man.
Yep. So, of course, anybody who watched a Vikings game last year knew how horrible our special
anybody
teams
who's
was.
watched a Vikings game in the last fucking 30 years.
Yeah, but I mean the last couple of years, especially, of course,
Yeah. Especially, man.
The inability to kick onside kicks was the main reason we lost that one game. Just ask Mike Zimmer.
Fucking A, seriously. And you think Tice was a meathead? That was pretty meatheaded comment right there.
Well, it just, we got to throw somebody under the bus because we can't, blame
if we
ourselves.
Could kick onside kicks, we could win games.
Yeah. Onside kicks are usually a pretty low percentage thing anyway. So shut up, Zim.
Right.
But, we had the great Marwan Malouf last year as the last couple of years.
Arguably one of the worst special teams coaches we've had here.
Yeah, I mean, you start looking at the totals. I mean, we had 68 punt return yards for the entire season.
Yeah.
68.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one return for most people.
I was going to say we were averaging like a yard a return.
It was like week 15, and I think we had 15 yards. We were averaging a yard a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some of the most pathetic attempt. I mean, of course, then you had, guys.
We haven't had a good return game in the punting, since Cheryl's has been here.
Well, punt and kick return both. I mean, I looked it up here when I was doing show prep. We have not had a return touchdown, either punt return or kick return, since 2016.
Yeah.
We had
5 years, folks.
We had 3 then. Marcus Sherrills had 2, and Cordero Patterson had 1 on a kickoff return. But, I mean, you start looking
for a long time. Well, not a long time, but for a couple of years, though, Pryfer had us right up there at the top of the league in special teams.
Yeah, and, we had good returners then. Sherrills was a very good punt returner. You had Patterson. Before him, you had, guys like Harvin and
Harvin was amazing.
Yeah, other guys that were good at kick return. I mean, and granted, kick returns are being marginalized, but
we brought in KJ Osborne just to be a return man.
Yeah, he was drafted for his return ability. We should have drafted Ozzy Osbourne. It would have been better.
Sharon, this is a joke. I'm trying to get out of this damn place.
Wait, come on.
I couldn't think of the shit that could have returned kicks better than KJ Osborne.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. They're realistically, unless he's made some.
They are talking up a big game about KJ this offseason. Apparently, he's having a really, really good camp. As for not training camp, obviously, because we haven't been there yet. But as far as mini camps and other off-season programs go, KJ,
he's really his return average is tripled. He's up to 3 yards per return now instead of 1.
He's gonna have to show me a lot to win me over.
I don't think he makes the roster. I don't see how he can.
He is on the bubble. That's for damn sure.
Because I mean, you look at, we brought in 2 guys that have extensive return ability, both Amir Smith-Marset and Keeney Nwangawango Wang Chung Wanga Dinglong, whatever his name is.
For sure. This draft class is just it's beast.
Right.
It's
I mean, both of those guys, and I maintain that we had Amir Abdullah Oblongata as our kickoff return guy last year. I'm thinking very good chance he doesn't make the roster either. I think in Nwangu.
He looked honestly, Amir Abdullah looked better at kick returner than fucking Osborne looked at punt returner. I mean, and that's
way to set the bar high there, Lance.
I know. Yep, you're right.
I mean,
we need better in all aspects of that terminology.
We could stick Dakota Dozier back there, and he probably would have been better than. We might have found somebody that Dakota Dozier would have been better at than somebody at.
True. Yes.
So, I mean, that's how bad Osborne was. I mean,
Osborne was horrible. I mean, and then you got BB back there, who, if he would have redeemed himself that game, he might have been honestly cut the day after.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Osborne started fumbling or muffing punts, so we put BB back there, and then he does the same picking thing. So
you put your most like at-risk player of getting injured back to return punts.
Yeah. But, that's why Maloof just got fired. So
Maloof he's probably a joke. He's probably out bagging groceries somewhere.
Yeah, it could be. So now we have our new special teams coordinator, Ryan Ficken. So
it's bringing in some Ficken intensity to this.
Yeah, so
special teamers.
Yeah, I'm hoping he can Ficken turn this around, because if not, it's going to be Ficken frustrating. All Ficken.
Well, he's got the Ficken talent. Let's see, get to put the Ficken use.
Right, and of course, if you haven't noticed, we're going to Ficken drive that name into the ground every time we can. So
not just today, whenever we get a chance to use it.
Oh yeah, it's the Ficken gift that keeps on giving. So,
but seriously, we need one thing that we haven't talked about yet. I'm sure you're getting there. I don't know what you got on your paper there, but
all kinds of shit.
All kinds of shit.
See, that's what being the producer is. I have all the stuff on there
to figure out this fucking Ficking kicking situation that has haunted us for over the better part of 5 fucking decades.
Yeah, that's the thing that probably it's obviously the biggest question mark on.
I would like to be able to feel exactly what Baltimore feels every time that Tucker lines up for a fucking game winner.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Biting my nails, I want to be able to be like, all right, he's going to fucking boot. I want to have confidence in my kicker.
But I'm going to maintain that Zimmer could probably ruin Justin Tucker too. He's ruined every other kicker that he's had in here.
He scares him. He's probably, I don't know.
Well, Zimmer hates kickers. We all know that.
Right. But it's part of the game.
Right. Well, right.
Bring in the guy and groom him. Blair Walsh, man, that one miss fucked him over for the rest of his career. The one miss. And he was good up until Seattle. He was excellent.
His rookie year he was incredible. He was knocking 50-yard field goals like it was nothing.
He had one of the best rookie years as a kicker in the NFL ever.
Yeah. Well, and then we brought in what's his butt there that missed the 3 field goals and Green Bay and got cut, and then went on to play with the Raiders. Daniel Carlson. He's been really good with the Raiders.
He's been hot with the Raiders for sure. But that's the thing with kickers. Hold on. Okay, I'm there. Do you stick with somebody that that has been good for you? Kickers, you just don't know. Right. It depends on how big their the memory is. Can they forget and move on? Or are they going to remember? Are they going to be questioning their technique for the remainder of their career? I don't know.
Well, that's it. And then we had Dan Bailey, who was one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history when he came here. He fell apart here. I don't know if it's something in the water or if it's something Zimmer's doing or something, but we even had a Ficken kicking coach, and that didn't help things any.
Oh my God. That was a joke for a while too.
Yeah. Was it Nate Kading used to kick for the
but Kading
for San Diego.
Yeah.
But so now this year we've got a competition between Greg Joseph.
I like this. I like the thought of this.
Yeah, but a competition between 2 unknowns. I'm hoping
one of them can break the fucking chain here.
Right. We got Greg Joseph, who was on Tampa Bay's practice squad last year. And everybody's talking, well, they protected him all year. So that got him. He hasn't kicked in the league in like 3 years.
Yeah.
And the reason why they were protecting him was just in case their regular guy got COVID.
Right.
We had the one that we were protecting. And of course, the minute we didn't protect him, then Jacksonville took him. But
right.
And then we also brought in undrafted rookie.
Who wants to be here? This is interesting because the Vikings were like his team. So
Riley Patterson, I think his name is, isn't
it? Yep. Boise State, right?
Somewhere over there.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He came from college.
Yeah, right. It doesn't matter until he makes the roster.
He's a kicker, guys. Give me a break.
Right. But for some reason or another, kickers have the most fragile egos of anybody that plays professional sports. I think it's like playing golf. You get the yips, and then some people can work their way out of it. And some
Kicker is
can't.
a lot more important than people give it credit for, though. I mean,
Right.
You can put the guy in the most pressure cooker moment of a game, and you ask him to go out there and win it all.
Yeah.
You know, it's you either fucking win or go home, literally.
Laces out, Dan.
Yo.
Good to see somebody who doesn't buckle under the pressure.
What would you know about pressure?
Well, I have kissed a man.
Of course, there's never been a more crucial kick in a Super Bowl than the famous kick heard around the world. I mean, it's clear to me that it was a good hold. Finkel just booted it.
The laces were in! They were in!
Yo. We haven't had a good kicker here, in my opinion, since Longwell retired.
Yeah. I mean, Kai Forbath wasn't terrible.
And basically, honestly, a couple of years we got out of Walsh that were decent.
Yeah.
Until the Seattle crumble. You know, that Seattle kick, like I said, I talked about it before 2 minutes ago, but that killed him. That killed his career.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came back to Minnesota, and I was like, he's going to miss, and he missed. And that,
yeah, because Seattle picked him up the year after.
And he was doing decent in Seattle until he came to play us, and then he played us, and then his.
Well, I remember, I think we played Seattle in the preseason that year, and I remember him being with, on the sidelines there.
By the band.
Well, he made a couple of kicks in the preseason game, and he was out there. And then when it came to crunch time during the regular season or whatever, then I think he went out and missed 2 against us or something like that. So it was.
And that is how the dice fell for Mr. Blair Walsh.
Yep. So, that's going to be an interesting thing to see. Do we have a kicker? Are we just going to, go for 2 all the time, or, do like in Madden, you're just going to go for it on 4th down from the 40-yard line every game?
That Dallas game last year, right? Was that the one that Bailey missed fucking 5 kicks?
Yeah. Or was
and he was missing kicks from the beginning of the game on. So it got to the point where it was like the second half, and you're getting close to you're getting in the red zone, and you're like, what's Zimmer going to do here on 4th down? That is fucking maddening when shit like that starts to happen during the game.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you got to give a guy a chance to work through it. But, when you start missing 3-4 during the game like that, then I think it might be time to, okay, for the rest of this game, we're just going to go for it. Right. You just sit over here and figure out what the hell is going through your head and straighten it out. We'll take care of it for this week. And
how do you even handle something like that? I mean, that's like
yeah, it's like I said, it's like a golf swing or anything else. You screw something up and it gets in your head. You got to get it back out again. And some can, some can't, whether you got to go see a sports therapist.
And I mean, it was Dan fucking Bailey, the most
so one of the better kickers in NFL history. And he can't, granted, he kind of pulled himself out a little bit, but not.
I've never been a big Bailey guy, since we've got him. I haven't. How can you like a kicker plays for Minnesota? Fuck.
Yeah, I've said we've all got kicker PTSD ever since '98, pretty much. Yep. You bury your head in a pillow every time the kicker lines up to make a kick, and wait for the crowd reaction to figure out if he made it or not. But anyway, that's kind of wraps up the special teams. So the No Excuses Tour is going to roll on from the season here. Yeah, we need to, we're going to keep an eye on this all season long. If things start going south a little bit, what kind of, they're going to bring up excuses. Zimmer's going to do his normal.
Let's hope we don't have to fucking discuss this in the season.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Let's hope it's more of a positive note than pessimistic situation.
Yeah, hope so, but we'll see how the season goes. So with that, we'll move on to. This is your final chance here this week to get signed up for the Justin Jefferson Hoodie giveaway.
We will be drawing a winner next week.
Yes, we will. We will announce a winner next Friday. So we've done it the same way all the time here, and we'll do the last one. Of course, you need to be subscribed to the channel,
right?
and then comment down in the comment section below the name of this week's secret player, who is this guy right here.
That is very much believes in winning. Rick Fenny, touchdown, Minnesota. So the fullback who grew up in Snohomish, Washington, and played for the University of Washington, gets the first touchdown for the Vikings today.
Okay, so this week's secret player is one fullback / running back / backfield jack of all trades, Mr. Rick Fenny. A lot of you guys probably are wondering who the hell is Rick Fenny. I know that's what Lance asked me before we started the show, because
Mr. Feeney?
Not Mr. Feeney, Mr. Fenny.
Mr. Fenny.
But you know, I remember him from when he played back in the 80s. I know it was before Lance's time, but I kind of liked him when he played. He ran hard. He was, wasn't flashy. He was just one of those
it sounds a little bit like a Klein Saucer type of player.
Yeah, he was kind of a lunch pail guy. He just went out there and, he gave him the ball and he ran straight into the pile, and we'll get you a few
yards. Everyday Joe NFL player.
Yeah. So, and, we kind of made the thing we were going to use a little more nondescript players when we did this. So Rick Fenny is our secret player this week. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Comment down below, and you'll get registered for the hoodie giveaway. Again, we're giving that away next Friday. So with that, we are going to roll into yet another one of our classic beer commercials. So crack one open, kick back, and check this one out, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
A very close call. Could have gone either way. It was right on the line.
Well, Ferguson's not too happy with it, I can tell you that much.
He's beating him like a rented mule.
And the ref's just tuning him out.
Boy, where do you train to take a beating like that?
He said, when's that porch gonna get painted? And that litter box! It's been 3 weeks! 3 weeks! And to think I could have married Don Hoffman. And would it hurt for you to say that you love me once in a while?
All right, we're back. And this week we're going to bring back one of our original segments that we haven't had one for a couple weeks.
It's been a while.
Because there really hasn't been anything deserving of this, but we're going to bring back this week.
What the hell?
So the what the hell this week, it's something that probably doesn't need to be brought up because
it irks some of these fans
so much, but it just annoys the piss out of me every time I see it, and it happens every damn year. Well, and what we're going to talk about this week is, Adrian Peterson came out earlier in the week or last weekend, whatever, his standard speech that he's given every year for the past 6 or 7 years. I feel great. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm ready to roll. All I need is a team to give me a chance, blah, 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 blah. Dude, you're spent. You're burnt.
He's burnt.
I mean, I understand, from what I've been hearing is his finances aren't probably the best in the world. As we all know, he's had, some spending habit issues, like his 30th birthday when he hired the freaking camel and all that other stuff to ride around on.
Right.
But the thing that's not our focus on the what the hell. The focus on the what the hell is that certain segment of the fan base that is out there tripping all over themselves. We need to bring him back. He deserves to come back and play with us again. He just, this is no. You guys are embarrassing yourselves.
Yeah.
He's what, 35 now? Pushing 36, somewhere in that.
He's 36 because he's
30.
You're 36.
Yeah, you're right. He's 36 now. So a 36-year-old running back who's put that much wear and tear on his body over the years, he's got nothing left. I mean, Detroit didn't even want him back. So let that sink in for a minute. The Detroit Lions didn't want you. But yet we want to bring
it out. That's not how he played it off as.
Of course, yeah. He wanted the opportunity to play for somebody that's going to win a championship, and great if he can get it. But you've got this section of the fan base. They hear Adrian Peterson, and they automatically think Adrian Peterson from 2012.
Yeah.
you know, when he ran for his 7 yards short of the NFL record.
Or just, you know, personal feelings.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing with so many of these. I mean, we've seen it this year with Everson Griffin. We've seen it trying to, you know, with the section that wants to bring in Larry Fitzgerald. Part of it is familiar name syndrome, I call it.
Right.
You know who the guy is and you like the player at one point in time. You pay no attention to the fact that Father Time is undefeated. And
I was going to say, Father Time does not just pause during their career. It continues to roll on.
Right. So, you know, how a player played 6 years ago is not how they're going to play now.
We don't owe these players anything.
No. Especially the way Adrian left here.
I was going to say, he casted some shade there. Yeah, he's loved by the fans, but some of the shit that he said when he left.
Right.
And he barked about how we didn't support him through his whole controversy when really we kept him on the rock. We did what we could do to keep him here during that time. He needs to be grateful to this organization.
Yeah, and then
we could have Ray Riced his ass.
Yeah, he got a contract after that. I mean, come on. You know, that really
I love Adrian, don't get me wrong, but he is a questionable person with some questionable decision making.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're not going to get into the whole off the field issues because that's a
a
rabbit hole we don't need to go down. But you know, just the way he acted when, you know, in his last year or two here, that really soured me on the guy.
Yep, I know your feelings for sure.
Right, and then plus you add to the fact, okay, I got into an argument with somebody the other day who tried to tell me that Adrian was a beast as a pass blocker.
I remember you told me this too. For as fucking powerful of a runner as he was, he really lacked in the fucking pass protection.
He is a horrible blocker.
That was always been a knock on Adrian was his pass protection.
Between that his catching ability and his tendency to fumble at the worst possible
I
times.
have seen Peterson get blown up by linebackers.
Oh, I remember back in 2015, there was a game we were playing Denver, and Bridgewater was the quarterback. And it was a 2-minute drill, whatever. We were driving down the field. We'd come back, and we just needed to get in scoring position. I don't remember if we needed a touchdown or if we just needed to get in field goal range. But I remember Adrian was supposed to have a blocking assignment, and he completely just whiffed. He Chris Jones the damn thing.
Yep.
And Teddy got absolutely obliterated, fumbled the ball. Denver recovers it. Game over.
Right. And everybody has their weakness.
Right. I'm not.
And that's the one thing. Excuse me.
Oh, go ahead.
That's the one thing with Adrian that never seemed to get better was his ability to pick up pass protection.
Mm-mm. You know, as a running back, I mean, he was one of the best pure runners the league has ever seen.
If not the best. Honestly, he could have used a little bit more speed, but you got just getting ticky-tacky and being picky-choosy.
I mean, you rank him right up there with guys like Earl Campbell, Jim Brown, that kind of stuff as far as his abilities. But, you know, he didn't like running out of the shotgun. He didn't like pass protecting. He didn't really care for catching the ball too much.
There for a while, he didn't like to run with the lead blocker either.
Yeah, he always said he didn't want a fullback. Well, you know, you look back at some of it, you know, like Tony Richardson and some of these other guys that he had as fullbacks. Yeah. You know, he did really well with him behind me. But the problem with Adrian a lot of times is he didn't want to follow that, you know, the lead block is going through the B gap or whatever.
He wanted to be the man at all times.
He saw a opening.
Which a lot of the times he was the man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no question.
I am not
what a talent the guy was.
Adrian's greatness at all because it was amazing when it happened.
Right. But the thing of it is, you guys in the fan base that are sitting here
no longer there
slobbering to bring him back. He can sign a one-day contract and retire a Viking if he wants to. But as far as bringing him back to actually play.
Say he does come back, Ryan, I would only give him about 5 carries a game.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, you bring him back, somebody like
Madison,
Alex Madison's going to get carries taken away from him. Nwangu's may not make the roster because Adrian would be taking up his roster spot.
Exactly.
You know, you got to move on. You can't just
what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, with so many of these people in the fan base, it's just pure nostalgia. It's like, oh, I remember when Adrian was so great for us and this, that. We bring him back, we can get that again. You can't recapture that.
Right.
You can't.
No.
I mean, he ran for.
That's one thing you can't do with it, and that has to do with age. Is you can't recapture that. That's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Right. There again, you can't hop in the DeLorean and go back to 2012, grab that Adrian and bring up here.
Right.
You're getting 2021 Adrian, who.
Now, if we got that Adrian, 2012 Adrian, and paired him with Delvin, Cook, I'd be okay with that. But that's not what we're gonna get.
No, you're not. I mean,
plus, you're taking away from younger players that want it.
Yeah. So, and I think, what was it last year? I don't think he even cracked 500 yards last year. If he did, it was barely. But,
there's only one Frank Gore in this league, and
yeah, well, I mean, Frank Gore is the Keith Richards of the NFL. I mean,
he is.
Because
all respect to Frank Gore, man.
Yeah, when did Gore get drafted? Like 1968.
Frank Gore was still around when Garrison Hurst was running the ball in San Francisco. Frank Gore was Garrison Hurst's spell guy until Hurst retired.
Right. So I mean,
when's the last time you heard Garrison Hurst's name? A long fucking time.
Yeah, it's been a while. So, but anyway, like I said. It's just it's one of those.
We love you, Adrian, but your time here is done, man.
Yeah,
and
like I said, it's not even Adrian saying I want to come back to Minnesota or whatever.
It's fans.
We as a fan base, and the certain segments, and like I said, it's not just for Adrian. We said we had it earlier with Everson Griffin. We've had it in the past with other players. Once the player is gone, especially when they're down past their prime.
Especially when they've been happy to be gone to begin with.
Right. You got to move on. Right. I understand the nostalgia. I understand that. But nostalgia doesn't win you football games. You have to do what's best for the team to win games. And bringing Adrian Peterson back is not that.
No.
And that's the thing. If his name wasn't, or if he wasn't the Adrian Peterson, if he was the Adrian Peterson that played for Chicago a few years back, you wouldn't get a single person that wanted to. Well, you might get one or two, but.
No, I don't even think you would. I don't even think Chicago would want that Adrian Peterson back.
No. But, just because he is who he is, it's for some reasons, a lot of people just decide that we owe it to this player to bring him back again.
That's what I feel like it is too.
No, we really don't.
It's because they want everybody to, if we go on and win a trophy, they want everybody to enjoy it because, I don't know. We only win it for the first time once, but
if that's the case, then every guy who's ever played for Minnesota deserves to be back on the team because there's a lot of players over the years that deserve to win a trophy that didn't.
So many.
You look at all the guys from the 70s, the Purple People Eaters, Tarkenton, into the 80s.
I hope when we win it,
John Randall.
Hey, this is for you guys.
Yep.
The ones that were here before that fought so many years and then get here. This one's for you.
Yeah. So I'm going to get off the soapbox on that now because I could sit and go over this. We could go back and forth on this for hours and it doesn't.
Yeah.
We've already given it more time than it probably needed, but it was just, as they would say on Family Guy, something that grinds my gears or whatever. So I felt it, and we hadn't done a What the Hell in a while. So I figured
it's been a while since we did a What the Hell. I'd say good 4 episodes.
Yeah. I'm guessing we're going to have more of these during the regular season because there's going to be stuff that's just going to make us shake our heads and
it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls during the season.
Oh, absolutely it is. But that's really about all we've got for this week. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching, whether it's here on YouTube, checking us out on our audio casts. We're getting quite a few of those now. Check your favorite audio platform. We're on most of them. TikTok and the other social media type stuff. Lance is always putting up.
I'm all over the
stuff
place
there. And again, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, we would love it if you click that subscribe button, hit the little bell.
Tell your friends, tell your friends' cousins, friends.
Tell your friends, tell their friends, and everything else.
Spread the word. When you want to go and see your Vikings news and have a little bit of fun, laugh, open a drink up, light one up, come here.
Yeah.
We'll entertain you for an hour.
We'll do our best anyway, but again,
Call it as we see it, man. We're the most realist show there is out there. We ain't got nobody telling us what we can and can't say.
No, and we're not going to sugarcoat anything. So,
right.
Again, thank you guys for watching. Why don't you take us out of here, Lance?
Once again, guys, we appreciate having you here. Keep coming. Spread the word. We want more viewers, of course. We want to build this base. The OGs that have always been here, thank you. We know you. We know your names. We know who you are. Once again, I joined a wonderful group, Skull Club Vikings Fabs on Facebook. They're awesome. I talk to them almost every day on Messenger. So we got some good things brewing here in the cauldron over at Vikings Uncensored. So keep coming. We'll see you next week.
And with that, we'll see you guys later. Training camp starts next week. So we're going to start breaking that down.
Getting closer. I swear to God, the football season is the fastest period of the year for me.
Mm-hmm. And also, don't forget, sign up for the Jefferson hoodie. This is your last chance.
And sign up for that hoodie.
We're giving it away next week. And with that, we will see you guys later.
No.